Hello and welcome to this episode of the Whamcast. I'm your host, Joel Madeline, joined by my co-host, Louis Cooper. How are you doing this week, Louis?
I'm good, Joel. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Computers. Oh, yeah.
You've had a busy week this week?
Yeah, fairly busy week. Just back at school, getting ready for exams, which is coming
Not
up
long
soon.
now, I know, but Easter holidays first. You got any
Easter
plans
holidays
for
first.
Easter holidays?
Working and I might be going to Spain. Depends.
You
Yeah.
never know. So Joel, any birthday shout-outs this week?
I've got a birthday shout out
Oh.
from not from myself. Yeah, to somebody I know from myself.
Okay.
Happy 18th to Lucia Savage, and well,
Happy 18th this year. Hope we have
Happy 18th.
hope we have a great day. And that's our first guest already.
yeah.
Deciding just couldn't withhold himself. That was. And another one is to Stuart Pearce from Lyle Scott. Is that?
It's Stephen Pierce
Oh.
from Lyle Vincent.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So have a happy birthday, Stuart. Stephen.
Happy birthday, Stephen.
Anyway, so on to this week's episode. We're joined by two guests, but this time it's for the first time it's a teacher-pupil duo.
Mhm.
And so would you like to introduce yourself? I mean, one's already jumped the gun by saying happy birthday.
Hi, Luc Patton here.
Oh, okay, yeah. And how you say, Luke?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Just enjoying the day slowly.
Good stuff. And of course,
You've got me, Mr Scottwoodhouse.
how are you today, sir?
Yeah, good. No classes teach this period, so
Perfect. So you thought you'd come and join the Whamcast?
yeah, I did as an avid listener. I
Yeah,
thought I'd
you know.
badger you till you actually let me on.
Yeah, you know. So it was kind of every private study I'd be sat there and just kind of like a peer behind me and just to want to ask about the Whamcast. You know, we thought we'd have to have you on at some point.
Yeah.
Constructive feedback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for those of the listeners that don't know you, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, as Mr Scottwoodhouse, I think I probably had the majority of pupils at some point through primary or in secondary. I think ever since your year group were in primary school, you've had a teacher at the primary schools. I think everyone from S4 were the first ones that I had. The current S4s I had in primary 4.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to have Luke and Louis in
So that's a
primary
pleasure.
6 and then into primary 7. So it's been great to kind of see them progress through.
How about yourself, Luke?
What is there to say? I'm a sports prefect. I'm a history prefect. Try and help out where I can in the school and do my part.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
seems to
what
be,
can I
yeah.
say?
Not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly, you know. Some wear blazers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
So you've been a sports prefect. Have you done much as sports prefect this year?
Yeah,
Have
we've
you
done a lot with the sports prefects. We're actually doing MSI, Melbourne Sporting Initiative, which is a wee thing we've got set up. It's 3 sessions this year, trying to just build up confidence and
Yeah, we're
help
looking
kids get engaged in sport who maybe aren't exposed to sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an opportunity to use sport as a vehicle to develop kind of key life skills that they can hopefully develop and take with them into later on in school and also into life outside. It's based on something that the school used to run previously in conjunction with Sky Sports,
Oh,
we
okay.
called Living for Sport back in the day, and we had a number of professional athletes that were linked into Sky Sports would come out to schools and would work with the children and do kind of little workshops over three blocks. But this year, myself and Mr Wilson have kind of taken it on board to lead with the current prefects to do some sessions.
Pretty much professional athletes anyway. Then you, Mr. Wilson, and Luke over there.
But there's something there.
Yeah,
on a sporting
yeah.
level,
Definitely. You know,
something.
yeah. So how long have you been in Melbourne then, sir? If you know, because let's go all the way back to talk about things like that.
Yeah, so I started, my first day at Melbourne was the 2nd of June 2015. And so I've been here since then. Mr. Wilson joined in the summer of that year, and we've been in the PE department together ever since. Winding each other up, frustrating each other, frustrating the children, but
Of course.
kind of got each other's back, so it's always nice having someone in
sounds
the
good.
department
It's,
that you've
it's
got.
good, yeah. It's have like a close bond with the department.
Yeah.
I've had Luke follow me around for the past 6
Yeah.
years. Anyway,
Yeah.
you know, it's-
Dynamic
Yeah, I've had
duo.
Louis too.
exactly, yeah. No, Joe.
But am I correct to say that you actually went to Melbourne as a student?
Yes. So my attendance at Melbourne was slightly different to other people's. Mr. Wilson also went to Melbourne, and he did the full 6 years at Melbourne, whereas I did 1 year at the end, a 7th year. In 5th year and 6th year, I maybe wasn't quite as motivated and focused as I could have been on achieving the grades that I wanted to do. And having been rejected for going into PE teaching straight off the bat at the end of 6th year because I didn't get the grades. I then decided, instead of going to college, well, I say I decided, my mum and dad decided that it would be a much more conducive atmosphere for me to go back into a school setting, but not Glenurquhart, where I was a pupil. They didn't have PE as a higher in kind of Glenurquhart, so they thought, right, at least that's one higher he might actually pass. So I came to Melbourne and did a year where I did 3 subjects, and that was in the old building. And then after that, my brothers and sister all came and did their final year at Melbourne.
Okay. So I get that it was only a year you were here for, but is there anything that's changed the same, or not changed the same, been the same since back then?
Some of the teachers. So Mrs. Patience was one of the PE teachers when I was here then.
Was she an inspiration to you, sir? What did you say? That's something inspired you to become PE teacher?
Now I'm in the same school. I was following in that lead. Mrs. Brunton.
Of course, yeah.
Was also PE we had there. So, in fact, Mrs. Brunton and Mrs. Patience did the volleyball section for higher PE when I was in it at that point. And I don't know if you guys ever had, but Mrs. Cummins, she was maybe here in the transition days when you came up, or you may have heard of her. She was here in the last year I was. My first year was her last year. Here.
Okay, yeah.
So that probably says it all.
Yeah.
Enough of teaching me.
Yeah. And this is sort of a question open to the two of you. So if Mr. Kroll came up to you and was like, you've got as much money as you want, as much time as you want, how would you improve the PE department?
I mean, we've got very good equipment and resources already, but I think there's 1 or 2 areas that we can maybe improve and further develop. For example, I mean, some of the equipment is looking a little bit worn. The gym is no longer here. We could always open up the gym again. I mean, use some of the space in the library if that's not being made into the cafe. But I think that's what I would do personally.
Oh yeah, there's like the big shed out by the field. Yeah,
exactly. There's lots of spaces and places that we could do things with, but it's whether we've got the budget.
Yeah, of course. Would you consider buying another badminton machine? Since it was such a big hit, the first one that we have currently.
Yeah, it's the badminton machine's been pretty good. It's actually a really good one, especially because of the space issues that we have in primary schools. We've been able to do badminton as a thing. When it comes to first and second years, it's quite good at being able to use as an opportunity for.
Wait, so what exactly is this badminton machine? I've not heard about it.
You ever seen the badminton machine?
I've never seen it.
I know like a tennis ball machine that like shoots out tennis balls. Is it like similar to that?
No, I remember when we were in S1 is when it arrived, and we used to have Mr. Jarvie for PE before he came in, and he would only let the kids who are good at badminton be able to do it. So both me and Luke would have to sit inside and just kind of watch as all our friends got to play with this machine, and we were too busy still trying to learn how to hold the racket in our hands. So yeah, no,
memorable.
Yeah,
we're talking about that machine now.
Yeah,
envious, obviously.
We've had a cricket one donated, have we not?
Yes, we just had. I think that was Mr. Hodgson when he was cleaning out the garage.
Oh, Mr. Newman.
Mr. Newman, sorry.
Mr. Newman in English, one of the new teachers.
Yeah,
very nice.
No, yeah, he was quite keen to show that to us.
Good, yeah, and we've got some cricket happening in the hall on our Wednesday lunchtime as well, which is really good. But I think the question was if we had an unlimited budget, was it?
Yeah, unlimited budget, whatever you want to.
So like you could open like a sports complex if you wanted, like
swimming pool.
Well, we'll see. It would be nice to a swimming pool would be good. A swimming pool would be good. It would also be nice to maybe have a couple of tennis courts.
Yeah, very true.
That would be nice.
Behind the Astro, just on that side.
There's
the space for it.
An infinity style
Ooh,
arena,
like a
trampoline
park.
Yeah.
Encouraging kind of bravery and creativity in a gymnastic setting. And I think, downhill ski slope. I mean, money's no object.
Money's no object.
Yeah, you could get artificial snow.
Yeah, it's like just like a wee dry slope. You could maybe get
even a proper running track.
Yeah.
Go for it. Front grass.
Tracking, not just the kind of squiggly lines.
Let's go all out. Get a velodrome in there.
Yeah, you know what?
60,000 stadium front grass make sports day a little bit easier.
Just like move like Old Trafford into, like
there we are.
Kind of big stadium style like that. But yeah, no,
we're very fortunate in relation to lots of other schools with the facilities that we do have, and all that nagging that we do as PE teachers about boots off when people are coming in with football boots into the department. That's because sometimes we go and see other schools and they're maybe not as well looked after. I mean, the school it's only just over 10 years old, but it's in pretty good condition for the amount of time that we have had it. But I think money's no option. We probably can have a full Olympics
Yeah.
village going on here for use.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that sounds like a good response. And so Mr. Scott-Woodhouse, if you weren't doing PE teaching, what do you think you do? And you can't say professional sports person because that's a bit of a cop out.
I mean, were you ever a professional sports person? Or did you ever have any sports? Because was it you or your brother that was playing for Clach for a while?
I'm not sure we would call Clach as professional.
Well,
sports,
you know,
but
you know,
my brother did. He played for
if
Cali
it is
Thistle.
contracted, you know.
Well, he was contracted to Cali Thistle. My other brother, who some of you will remember as a teacher in some of the primary schools before he left here, he was a professional footballer with Cali Thistle.
Yeah, and he's now over in Dubai,
He's now over in Dubai enjoying the retirement lifestyle.
I can imagine, yes.
But no, I was never. I did well junior levels of sporting things, but never went to anything where I was ever going to get paid for it. With regards to what career I would have liked to have done apart from teaching, I'd have liked to have been like a sports reporter. I'd have liked to have been a commentator, basically anything football related, anything sports related. And as you've kind of all worked out over the years that I like talking, so that opportunity to talk about sport would have been great. Sports reporting, sports journalism, TV presenting. As Louis put earlier, a more charismatic Dan Walker, which I feel is slightly harsh, but in essence, that job would suit me fine.
Yeah, we probably put you between kind of Mark Chapman and Dan Walker in that kind of category. Definitely.
Take it, Louis.
Yeah. But no, and also one thing you did a couple of years ago was the Strictly for the hospice. Was that in Inverness? How was that? Because I imagine that's quite different to playing football. You know, to suddenly drop the kind of footballs to the ballroom. You know, was it?
Footballs to ballroom. Someone's been practicing that link.
Yeah, well, you know, so I'd like to say that it just came to me, but I've been sitting up for 5 minutes now.
No, back in 2016, I was very fortunate to be able to participate in Strictly Inverness for the Highland Hospice. At that point, they were looking for males, and Miss Patience came down and asked the P department, because there was myself, Mr Jarvie, Mr Wilson, and my brother at the time, if any of us would like to take part, and they all took a step back, and
you all stepped up for the
something like that.
Stepped or pushed.
Well, a bit of both, to be honest. Encouraged, but it didn't take an awful lot of encouragement. The prospect of fake tan and sparkly shirts was right up my street.
Stilettos were tapping away, so were they?
Well, that's it. What we do at home is our own business, though, Louis. So I did Strictly, and I think you guys were in primary 7.
Yeah,
actually I came and did a performance
the
day before. And did it. And it probably led to one of the strangest experiences of my teaching career. Because we were doing it, we were encouraged to get a spray tan.
Oh, okay.
So I was told before you do it, you can't wear any chemicals on your skin, so no moisturiser, no sun cream. It also happened to be the hottest day of the year so far, and I was up at Rigmore in the primary schools, and it was just baking heat all day, shorts out, t-shirts, and then got the spray tan afterwards, and I came back, should we say, mahogany coloured, which then led to me going in on the Wednesday morning. My first class on a Wednesday morning was third year core. I had a group of third year girls.
Okay.
At which point we spent 20 minutes at the start of the lesson discussing my fake tan. Where's the best place to get a fake tan? And what's a bad fake tan? Why it was good. So it was interesting.
Yeah. Yep. I can imagine.
I loved it though.
Yeah. And was it as a result of that you then met your wife through doing Strictly?
Yes. The person I was paired with, we did Strictly together, and then later on stayed in touch and ended up going out with each other and then got married.
Wow.
Did you get to pick who you got paired with, or was it just a random...
It was just random selection. They have a pairing evening where they put people together.
Yeah.
They kind of looked at people dancing and put them together. However, I wasn't at the pairing evening because it was the first and second year school dance at Milburn, so you committed to the cause. I made sure I was here instead of at the pairing evening. And we just got randomly stuck together. At the end of the pairing evening, she was given a picture of me, and after she got over her devastation, and we ended up getting married and winning Strictly.
Of course. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
Luke, do you have any dancing experiences?
Dancing experiences. Honestly, I couldn't think of any dancing experiences off the top of my head. I mean, I did a lot of drama with yourself, of course, and Joel. I don't think I ever had to dance, to my knowledge, unless, I mean, Mr. Cooper, you seem to be looking at me.
No, I
think
Crown did the rock challenge in primary 7, didn't they?
I don't know.
Did you do any dancing?
I was not involved in the rock challenge. In primary 7.
There's just something that came to my mind of a certain Mr. Patton dressing up in drag and performing to "I Want to Break Free," which I think.
Oh yeah, that was our talent show back in. That was yourself and I believe Sam James.
Yeah, that was back in P6.
Yeah. The three of us, we performed "I Want to Break Free" in front of our entire primary school. In fact, so were you around then?
Oh, you may have been in that day.
Well, if it's probably 6 then.
Yeah, P6. Well, I got you just at the end.
That's right.
It's okay because the video is on YouTube. If anyone wants to go and try and find it,
I'm assuming you'll be using the Instagram to.
Yeah, we will be plugging the link.
Absolutely, will be posted on there later on if anyone wants to.
And unfortunately, we did not win. Everyone was a winner.
Yes, of course.
So.
Yeah. What's your opinions on that attitude, sir? That everyone's a winner? Do you feel that it's...
If you are competing against yourself and you can only compete against your very best, then everyone can be a winner. Not everyone is a winner.
Okay. So you don't live by the motto that second place is a first place loser.
I would prefer to come first and second.
Okay.
So we know you're quite an avid listener of the Whamcast, and this is our 13th episode actually. Unlucky 13th, lucky 13th to some. What's your favourite episode so far?
To be honest, the one where you did the quiz about can Louis beat a 9-year-old.
I think it was actually a 12-year-old, sir.
12-year-old.
You know,
because a primary 7.
Yeah, it was about a P7 kind of age.
And it was mainly because I managed to get one of the questions right.
Well done, sir. Can you remember the question?
Yeah, it was about the butterflies.
Oh, okay.
Or the moth or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think that one was quite difficult actually.
I don't think I got that question
right. No, you didn't. So I normally listen to it when I'm out running in the morning, and I did have a little celebratory fist pump to myself as I found out I was right. It was to do with that
chrysalis, yeah. But I thought
because you thought it was a cocoon.
Yeah, because that's what I thought the name was, because there was I also remember the hungry caterpillar being that he ate and ate and ate until he went to the cocoon and came out of the butterfly. But I guess that the proper way of saying it is a chrysalis rather than cocoon.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite episode of the Whamcast, Luke?
I can't remember exactly what episode it was, but I thoroughly enjoyed the episode where William Urquhart, I believe he's a deputy prefect, came on to talk about mental health. I thought it was a very enjoyable episode.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It was for us. I think that's maybe our most important episode.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, because mental health something is just not always acknowledged in society, and we've got Mental Health Week coming up last week of term, so.
So last week, it's not next week, but the week after. Next week, beginning like 13th of March.
Okay, so there'll be lots to happen then, lots of raffles coming up.
Yeah, I think they're looking at maybe doing a bake sale and perhaps dress down day too, which could be quite interesting.
Yeah,
I think I remember last year during Mental Health Week, we were obviously in lockdown last year.
Yeah.
I know the PE department, on the Instagram, our Instagram, we shared lots of things that we do to help our mental health, from reading comics to playing video games to running, eating, cooking, all those sort of things. So that might be something that we
Do you have any cooking specialties, sir? Do you have any which you feel you've mastered over the years?
I quite like cooking. I during the spent lockdown almost perfecting a pretty good roast beef.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's
my time. The silky gravy. That's what I would go to probably at the moment. But I do enjoy cooking. And I did home ec with some of the second years last year.
I mean, personally, I'm more fan of the eating. So.
Yeah.
Luke, do you have anything that you can feel that you've mastered by now in a cooking element?
I'm pretty good at making a stir fry.
Stir fry.
I make a good stir fry. I mean, it's not too difficult, but it can be very good when I'm
when you're on the ball, when
you know it.
When the apron's on.
All the experience from McDonald's,
of course,
certainly leapt forward and probably stronger than my sports. So we can agree on that, sir.
What?
Stir fire sports, you know.
Well, you need to have everybody in the team.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to have piano players and piano movers.
You know it.
Anyway, I think we've reached the time in the episode where we ask you what you would take.
Actually, no, we've got another question that's been sent in by one of our listeners.
Send in questions now.
Yeah,
wow.
So one of the listeners has asked, what's the origin of T-Dog, Mr. Scott-Woodhouse?
So there's obviously a copy of the yearbook from my 1 year at Melbourne that sneaked in. And that was the point where we had to have nicknames put in. And I had left mine blank.
Oh.
And then said, you need to put something in. So I said to one of the other boys in the class, just write something. Maybe not the best of ideas. So unfortunately, there's no real great story behind it. Very boring, very disappointing.
No. However, I think Mr. Wilson has quite an interesting yearbook nickname, which I'm not sure we can actually say on the podcast, but if anyone does ponder to ask him, I think it's definitely one of the more interesting ones.
I didn't even know about that.
Oh, well, because I remember last year when Mr. McDermott was moving out, we were shown the nickname, and I thought that was definitely quite bold of him to have put that in his yearbook, which stuck around the school at the same time as he did.
Well, I suppose if you're going to put it in, then you put it in when you're leaving.
Yeah, definitely.
And then don't intend on coming back.
Well, several years later. I probably didn't think it was going to resurface. I never thought mine would resurface with my busted / McFly haircut.
So you never had a nickname, sir? No?
Not really through school.
No?
Not when I came for a year to Melbourne. Not really.
Before Melbourne?
Woody has always been something really original, using.
Is that because you've got names at the bottom of your feet and you move like a toy? Is that the reason why? Is that dressed as a cowboy, sir?
Well, yeah. I think it's probably to do with my acting skills.
Okay.
Just wooden. No, it went through university. It became C-Dub because I DJ'd at the student unions.
Do you think that you can still use the decks today, sir?
Maybe not the decks. I've done a few of the leaving barbecues, which obviously is a very difficult task of creating a playlist on Spotify.
Are you on the lineup this year?
Well, I don't know. It depends on the fee that can come forward.
And the budget, maybe.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you get the question of if you had unlimited budget towards that leaving day, then you might be able to afford.
You never know. Is there any other listeners that have sent surprise questions?
No, that's the only question that's been sent in.
Okay. Do you guys have anything you want to ask us? Anything you want to know? Just feel that we sometimes, leave guests of leaving up unanswered questions.
Well, I suppose then is what has been your most enjoyable memory of Melbourne? Because I mean, you're all the way through now. It's come all this way. I mean, it might not be the most enjoyable, but off the top of your head, an enjoyable memory of Melbourne.
I'll go first. Now, maybe I won't go my most enjoyable, but maybe one which is kind of
more enjoyable for others.
Which is maybe more enjoyable to the others and is kind of quite viable to the episode. It's just got PE teachers and PE prefects on. And this has been when I was in second year and we did gymnastics. And no, it was second year. And it was Miss Mackenzie is now down PE. And it was when she was a probationary teacher and she was just starting. And I remember she left the classroom for a minute to go and get something. And in that very
throwing her under the bus here.
Well, I think maybe she was called out.
She was getting the music sorted.
Yeah, she was getting the music. So she was called out. She was supposed to be called out by yourself, so to help something. And in that 1 minute, I was pinned to the ground. I was rolled up in a mat, and the chant of sausage roll was chanted across the room. But then, when it was seen she was re-entering room, all of the boys flee from the scene, bar the two which are lying on top of me to pin me down.
I think your shoes went missing as well.
Oh yes, and also, like when the boys disappeared, my shoes also disappeared in that minute. And she came back and she decided that I'd warranted a detention from that because, whilst I was struggling to breathe and try and get my breath back, and I was given a detention for wasting time.
And we're still looking for that shoe, aren't we?
Yeah, and I am still looking for these shoes today.
I'm glad there's no resentment held.
No.
As you said it through gritted teeth.
No, it is quite a funny story, and I have spoken to her about it since then. She has been quite perplexed as to why she gave me a detention, whilst I struggled to breathe and was also quite notably red in the face from being rolled up and sat on.
Well,
Joel, yeah.
I can't really think. It's just been a good experience in general. Nothing that really highlighted or made my memories just that bad. I remember Capture the Flag. That's quite a good one that we always do, although I'm not in PE anymore, so I don't do that as much as I'd like to. But I'd probably go with just generally playing capture the flag is quite interesting and probably my best memory.
There's always a 6th year core. You could have one last
Yeah.
capture the flag.
Come along to that. And it was always quite good when they brought the actual flags out for countries.
That was
of which,
fantastic,
but but the thing was, and they could get, and there'd be some people in the class who wouldn't know any of the flags, so they just start making up the names of countries. So I think there's been quite a few new countries created using the flag of either Ghana or Nigeria, because they were unknown to them at the time.
Creativity's
Absolutely.
What about you, Luke? Have you got
a favourite memory? I've got to admit, I do remember that one that Louis just mentioned, and that was a very, very...
because you managed to get away before Miss Mackenzie came out?
I did.
And that shoe is proud of place.
I know where that shoe is.
Limitations gone.
I don't know. There's so many. Of course, I mean, it was either S1 or 2. We used to have a drama teacher come in.
Oh, yes.
And again, another story involving Mr. Cooper. It seems to be a bit of a running theme. He was pinned to a table and attacked with a board cloth or something.
It was something like that. It was
or a brush or something.
It was supposed to imitate a Guantanamo Bay torture scene.
Well, I don't think that was the original idea.
Well,
it was supposed to be an operation.
It was supposed to be an operation.
Operation gone wrong.
Turned into me being waterboarded in an English classroom. So there's been lots of fun memories for me.
While the drama teacher.
Yeah, he loved it. He thought it was a fantastic piece.
He thought that I had allowed this to happen, and I was, I was just taking one for the team to provide a true acting performance.
An authentic experience.
So it really was quite something.
Best thing ever, wasn't it?
So I really will miss Milburn once I'm out of here, and I won't have to
miss getting pinned down,
fearing pinned to the ground or losing my shoes, being inhumanely tortured. So.
Well, just wait till you hit freshers week.
Only gets worse.
I'm sure.
So one question we like to ask everyone who comes on is, if you're on a desert island and you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would you eat?
We talked about this the other week, was it not?
I had a number of discussions on it.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing to highlight and to address at this moment is how
impractical the situation is.
Well, no, is how much my concerns in the pupil leadership of the school was heightened after that very first episode.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Only thing being allowed to eat tomato ketchup and brown sauce.
Yeah, it is.
I think if that's the pupil decision makers, then
it was quite a bizarre.
So will you be bringing your roast beef with you?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I suppose that's it. Because I mean, I obviously had that discussion with Louis and Hannah, and Hannah had brought up about planting your own food. Then obviously with the ones from the IRA, you had that similar discussion. Someone had mentioned potatoes,
fish as well,
different variety, and fish for proteins. I don't know. So I mean, it's kind of expanded to the point you can have anything.
Oh, it is.
And it's just an unlimited bit on that one part.
Yeah.
And as it's impractical, and pizza is my
any
favourite.
particular kind of pizza?
All of them.
Really? Just any of them?
So every single topping possible, just slam it up.
Well, we could have like a wee quarter section.
Cheese. Each slice is a different pizza.
There we go. Create something new.
Where would you say is the best pizza you ever had, sir? Because there's lots of people who say they've had the best pizza, but
the Black Owl pub's very good.
It is
good
very
pizza.
Good,
yes.
Yeah, they do. Suitors Creek over there.
Very
nice one.
They're a nice one, yeah.
There's a guy in Inverness actually. Through Instagram, Rice Slice.
I was thinking cheese and tomato.
Yeah, I was thinking cheese and tomato.
Is also very good with ex-pupil.
Yeah.
There. But as I said, the guy on Instagram called Rice Slice.
Whereabouts is that?
He's in Inverness.
Oh, okay.
But his pizzas are very good. I've really enjoyed them. To be honest, a hot pizza.
Any
pizza. Key addition though used to be when I was at school with BC's coleslaw. BC's
pizza?
coleslaw, just to have with that sounds maybe controversial, but very enjoyable.
I'm a fan of coleslaw, but coleslaw with pizza?
It doesn't have to be on it. It's just
Just dip your crust in it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Luke, of course, would you have any suggestions?
I think pizza's a very good idea, but I think you couldn't beat a good burger.
Oh,
yeah. Nice beef
loyalty
burger.
over
Yeah.
I never said McDonald's.
Is there by any chance the Big Mac?
No. I wouldn't. Not for the rest of my life. No, but I think you couldn't go wrong with a nice beef burger, can you?
Yeah, you've got your protein, you've got your carbs from like the top and the bun.
Yeah, you can put anything in it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
We never asked you what your favourite memory was.
Oh, well, yeah. But that's a valid point, though.
As a pupil or a teacher. you
Yeah,
know.
we've never asked what was your favourite memory or what was the funniest thing you've ever seen happen in the school.
Funniest thing you've ever done? I mean, you guys were playing that game for a while, were you not, in the PE department?
Oh, killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite
Yeah, so the
interesting.
last kind of 2 Christmases, we've tried to play killer, where we have to take out another member of staff with an object in a specified location. This year, it kind of fell by the wayside because it became a bit too difficult, and just with people being off, it didn't always work. Last year, Mr. Wilson was victorious. But yeah, so we get on very well in the P department, and we normally manage to come up with enough nonsense or to keep us entertained. Favourite memories? One of them, I as a football coach, I managed to lose 4 games on the trot to Stornoway, in Stornoway, and then went finally in the year of that the pandemic hit. We went over in December, went over to play Stornoway and won on penalties.
Brilliant.
Which was quite impressive. And at that point I thought, yes, we're on for winning the North of Scotland Cup. To which point the world ended and it never got finished. And it's yet to pick up since. But to be honest, there's been an awful lot of good stuff. One that always jumps in my head is Erin in your first and second year school dance, where she ended up having to dance with Louis, her big brother. And at which point myself and Mr. Wilson just turned around and saw Erin pushing him away and saying, I can't dance with him, he just keeps standing on my toes, and turning around and marching off.
And that's the head girl, Aaron Jones, yes?
Head girl, Erin Jones. So that and Ketchup, I think, was hers, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, she was brown sauce.
I thought she was ketchup.
Oh, it's a 50-50
It's a
choice, I think.
50-50, yeah.
One or the other.
But no, that was a funny moment that sticks in head. But as I said, there's been plenty. There's been loads of fantastic kids, loads of fantastic memories of everybody coming through, and it's been really nice with a lot of your year, because I've had so many of you from, especially Rigmore and Crown, all the way from primary 6 all the way through to you leaving here and going off to university. And it's a really nice thing to be able to do, see you move from primary school into secondary. Really fortunate position to be able to have that.
Definitely.
You were just mentioning the football there, coaching. Are you still coaching football now?
Well, if we get some games going, then we will. I think Luke is desperate to get one more game after the last one ended up with him sitting on a chair in the PE department.
Injury, so.
Having to get his dad to come pick him up from the front.
You really don't have a good track record for playing football, do you?
Not for the school, at least.
No, and then in a friendly, you broke your...
Yeah. Tore ligaments in the ankle. Unfortunately, it was out for 6 months.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, how is the football team doing at the moment, sir?
We have
injuries.
Won some. We have not won some. And I think we've only had 3 games, haven't we?
4, but one was cancelled, I believe, wasn't it?
So we've had 3, and we lost 2 and won 1 this year.
Oh, okay. So you're
room for improvement.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that about wraps things up. Thank you for coming on to the Whamcast.
Yeah, on that bombshell, I think we can say that Millburn's football team is certainly
not as good as the girls.
Well, yes.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know,
massive wins and the first year basketball.
Yeah,
yesterday,
and also
winning
and on Monday night, the boys hockey team and the girls hockey team both went to Dingwall and came back with 3 points in each game. So
Fantastic.
There we go. Sporting
Congratulations
success.
to the coaches of those teams.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd hate to blow my own trumpet or anything.
Sporting success and Mr Scott-Woodhouse is not involved.
Yeah, you know, it is rare, but anyway. And no, so thank you very much, guys, for coming on. And if anyone is still listening, it's competition time.
Yeah.
Because we would like to advertise our role, because, of course, Joelle and I are not going to be here forever.
Unfortunately.
So we will be leaving soon, you know. I don't think we'll be doing a 7th year like yourself, so, you know.
Thanks, Louis. Get the cheap dig in early.
Sorry, Sarge. So we need new hosts off the Whamcast. So we're looking for any pupils in
5th year right now
who are or going into 5th year.
Yeah, going into 5th year.
Yeah. So if there's any people looking to go into 5th or 6th year next year, we'd like each to send an application and. You can tell us all about it, how much you want to do it, if you'd like to do it, and we can see where we are from there. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you all next week.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.